the U.S. intervention in Zimbabwe's 2024 elections. Recently, the political atmosphere in Zimbabwe has been nothing short of dramatic, and it's caught the eyes of the global community, including the United States. In the most recent elections, President Emmerson Mnangagwa was declared the winner, but not everyone's convinced about the fairness of these results. The U.S. hasn't shied away from expressing its disapproval. The State Department criticized the election process, pointing out suppression of the opposition and interference with independent observers. Now, why does this matter to the U.S.? Well, Zimbabwe is strategically important on the African continent, which is increasingly becoming a battleground for influence between global powerhouses like China and Russia. The U.S. is stepping up, advocating for democracy and transparency in Zimbabwe, hoping to counterbalance these influences. The reaction has been mixed. On one hand, there's support for the U.S.'s stance on promoting democracy. On the other, there are accusations of overreach and interfering in sovereign affairs. It's a classic scenario of international politics, complex and nuanced. In the midst of all this, there's talk of pushing for fresh elections, supported by international observers to ensure fairness. The goal? To pave the way for a more democratic governance structure in Zimbabwe, which could be a beacon of hope for similar struggles across the continent. But let's not ignore the challenges. The issues of voter intimidation, restrictions on freedoms, and the disenfranchisement of candidates, especially women, are deeply concerning. These aren't just minor procedural glitches. They're significant barriers to genuine democracy. So what's next? The U.S., along with other international bodies, is likely to keep a close eye on developments. The hope is that with enough international pressure and support, Zimbabwe can conduct elections that not only reflect the will of its people, but also adhere to international standards of fairness and transparency. And for this very reason, the U.S. has shown full support in Nelson Chamisa's recent approach in calling for fresh elections and human rights. Is it a step towards safeguarding democracy, or is it an unwarranted interference? Drop your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates from Zim News Live, YTS.